went back in, but I had no idea what to talk about. When everyone had settled down, Carrie gave me a nudge, and I suddenly found myself talking about why some people get enlightened and others not.
Weird.
Ramana Maharshi, I said, got enlightened in a few minutes. It took you 3 years from the moment you met your guru until you realized the self. But you see, realize the self, I thought that was the first stage, not realizing your own death. But here it's called enlightenment. Okay, so enlightened is first stage, but not final. Most people think that enlightened equals final. So you see, there's a bit of confusion in these communities about this stuff, actually. And so it took you 3 years from the moment you met your guru until you realized the self, but that's not the end of the path, according to Sargadatta. But it's called enlightenment. And some people think it is the end of the path.
That's the snake right there. That's what it was doing without its head.
Try and don't succeed. You have to stop the trying, you see.
Whoa.
Why is it like this? You have to. Anyway. Why is it like this? Are the people who try all their lives and fail doing something wrong?
Yellow belly racer.
Most other
I'm sorry, bro. Non-venomous
would
snake.
answer a question
Dude,
like this
sorry.
by saying that some people had more or less finished their work in previous lives and were therefore able to realize self very quickly in this life. This wasn't an option for Maharaj because he steadfastly refused to accept that reincarnation took place at all. This itself was a little strange for me because in the period that I used to visit him, the dust jacket of Tatvamasi, I am that, reproduced it.
Good morning. So it's pretty early. It's 6:35, and I woke and I have my window blocked out, as you can see. Let me show you where I am. If you're gonna do it right. I'm doing it right. This is my inside cave of Jesus door, which would have the pouring in of sunshine, but I have to block it due to the aliens and such that will just fly over and be out there at night. You think I'm bullshitting? I am not bullshitting. It's pretty weird out there. I don't think it's just me. I mean, hey. So I had that good dreamless sleep where, you sleep deep and you pass the dream world. You don't even get there. You don't even fuck around with that. You park your body somewhere and you attend yourself. It's Friday. It's payday. It should be I get these wonderful, I wonder if they fuck my checkup sensations where I could just solve that now by calling it, but I'm not going to do that yet. It's more interested in this snake. I'll go back to this. So the situation with this snake, it sort of struck me. Now maybe I am a little bit my theory on snakes is as follows. I think that you encounter snakes because of what they represent when you need certain type of wisdom. A snake. Now, I didn't have to see this snake do this move that it's doing right here. But I remember I was telling the video and it just struck me so fucking odd that when I came back, the body of the snake was moving around like this without the head, because I cut it off. And I had felt bad and was considering if I should be killing this thing real early in the game, because I seen it open its mouth and it didn't look like it had any fangs, but I was going through the movements and I was very keenly aware, because this thing, it looks golden. When I saw it, it looked like it was golden. And this one looks more green on the back, but the one that I had, I could refer back to it. It did look like a golden snake, and it was very strange. Now, if I already kind of identify with these phenomenons as aspects of the self. And what happens with snakes, if you get someone new coming into your environment, which we have this quite a bit, there's been a, what's the word? Get a screenshot of that. Alright, yes sir. Tell yourself, self, do what I say. The phenomenon is that it could be like thoughts that aren't in harmony yet, I would say, because if they're not yet in harmony, they manifest in a form of a snake, and you might have to battle it. You know, as a barefooted person, I take the line maybe a little too hard on slaying them, but it's not likely to really change. Although I've had some experiences with snakes where I wasn't murdering them. Those are usually, the last time that I had one like that, it was profound because I did not murder the snake. I had a unanticipated mind to release this snake after subjecting it to slightly cruel but enlightening experiments of myself. I was throwing this snake in it was a baby copperhead. Yes, very dangerous to have because they're poisons. If they get you, they're going to put it all in you and you're going to die. This is like a known thing of snakes and their young in snaky state, I would say. Why am I all over this snake? Well, that's the point. It's like the golden aspect of the snake and the golden aspect of myself was both out and about. You know, that I can say from this. I'm going to tell the story I'm telling you because I've reached my hands into the muddy part of my soul. Even being a like super soldier one dream and laying there in the mud, it wasn't like, you know, on one hand it could be like the human is definitely, we're like fucking laying in the mud somewhere, you know, with our full awareness, our supreme nature, and we're not fully awake to it, although it exists. And I think it's odd that in that state in the dream, how I was still under the mind control because I was just waiting for them to identify the target. And then as I listened more and more to their rant back and forth, the Pentagon, I guess, whoever it was shaving off layers of that from around me and detaching me from that matrix fucking crib I was in. And I'm sure we have a little bit of this going on. I mean, all of us. There's not anybody here that's not absolute either. You know, and how you interact with your intelligent infinity is going to be totally up to you, and it most likely will jar your mind from whatever reality. It could be like a near-death experience on that. It's gonna it's gonna change your life. So it's not really something you can just make up. You know, like recently, some of the things, because I wanted these things to occur, like the cans to get the fuck out of here. And I had said that a slight bit of myself identified with that big mess out there of cans, being a can drinking son of a bitch, as, you know, my impact or ugliness upon the world. I could see that. And if we would have kept them forever and waited to take them ourselves, I don't think we were going to ever have the time to do that. And I knew I was right the whole time, despite whatever or the teaching from the Father, we'll keep these in case we need them, or whatever it was. I wasn't receiving that wisdom from him, other than to say that he had it, and that was his basis of his line of thought regarding the massive can fields outside. So now back to gold. Now in alchemy and shit, you want to become golden. You're transmuting your darkness of your soul, the mud and the lead, into gold. So I did have this weird attachment with the snake. That's why I so quickly tried to get his ass processed in the fire. And although it didn't really come off as a ritual in the proper way, because it was secondary to share it. It was secondary for me to share that experience, not primary, because one, it just was, just the way it was. So I'm not always going to make the most professional videos. I'm not. I'm going to try to make the most use of the phenomenal human being with a camera as an opportunity. Now that, I guess, I can be more juxtaposed to be able to do. I mean, if you're doing it right. If you're doing it right. Running along with my automobile, the sneaky snake behind the wheel. Hey, my buddy, what you know? I had a head but had to go. Snaky friend, you make me feel like your words are fucking real. Why'd you chop off my head? In that state you'd be dead. You would not bite me with your mouth, although you are still from the south. The sneaky friend, the snake of mine, I know you better have my mind. Sneaky snake.